Even though I left the office late at night, I couldn't stop thinking about what I had just uncovered. I thought my 2 clients were simply getting played by a guy, but now it seemed way more complicated. Suddenly, I felt someone following me. The footsteps behind me were getting closer, and I got so nervous that I bolted. The figure behind me sped up too. When I saw a house up ahead with all its lights still on, I ran for it with everything I had. "Please, open the door! Someone's following me!" I pounded on the door, praying that someone inside would come out. My pursuer was almost on me. Hi, I'm Olivia. I never thought my job could put me in danger like this. As a professional loyalty tester, I've always believed that no man is truly faithful in love. Don't agree? A lot of my clients didn't either, until I showed them proof of their boyfriend cheating. But everything changed when I met 2 special clients, Aria and Camila. "I want to test my boyfriend's loyalty." "I want to too." "I got here first, so I should be served first." Okay, no need to argue. I just need you both to provide me with some info." "My boyfriend runs a flower shop. We met online and have been talking for 6 months. But he stopped replying to my messages lately." "Oh, my boyfriend also runs a flower shop. We met online too. I just sent him money and now he's blocked me. I bet he's using that cash to woo some other chick." Something felt off. Both of their boyfriends were guys they met online and they both ran a flower shop? I quickly looked up that flower shop and sure enough, there was only one in town. Could it be that you 2 are dating the same guy? "No way would I ever date the same guy as her." "What are you trying to say?" "Okay, I'll take on both your cases." The next morning, I stood outside the city's biggest flower shop. There was a guy inside arranging flowers. From his silhouette, I figured he was our target. I pulled out my phone and snapped a pic to compare with the photo on his profile. I ducked behind a tree, trying to stay hidden. After a while, when nothing happened, I peeked back into the shop. There were a few more customers inside now, and the guy was busy wrapping up flowers. I quickly took a few more shots and started to leave. I looked up at the person I'd bumped into. His hat had fallen off, revealing a shock of bright orange hair, and he was holding a camera. When he saw me looking, he quickly pulled his hat back on and dashed off. I watched him, confused, but didn't think too much of it. Then I noticed a photo lying on the ground. It was of the guy in the flower shop. I was about to pick it up when someone beat me to it. Out of nowhere, a cop came up to us.
"Excuse me, I got a complaint here. Who's Liam?"
That's me. I want to report this girl for stalking me. Here's the proof.
The cop stepped forward, looking like he was about to haul me away. "Wait a minute! It's not me! Someone else dropped that photo! He ran off in that direction!"
I suspect she's in on it. She's been standing outside the shop for over an hour.
"I'm not an accomplice!" But thanks to Liam's insistence, the cop led me to his car as people around us started pointing and gossiping. It took forever to explain myself, but they finally let me go. It was the first time I'd felt humiliated like that. Liam. No way I was letting him get away with this. Back at my office, I compared the photos I took with the ones from his Instagram account. The small details only confirmed my suspicion. Liam was definitely the guy stringing along both Aria and Camila. The way he looked and the descriptions they gave of their boyfriends were a perfect match. Over the next few days, I made regular trips to his flower shop. Liam was super popular with the customers, most of whom were women. Watching him laugh and joke with all those girls made my blood boil. What a player! I decided to jump in and interrupt him with one of his admirers, flashing him a smile. "I'd like to buy some flowers. Can you help me pick something out?"
You should figure out what you like instead of asking me.
He brushed me off and walked away like my question was nothing. Furious, I tried to follow him, but I slipped on the smooth floor and ended up flat on the ground. Everyone in the shop stared at me. I wanted to dig a hole and disappear. Just then, Liam came back and helped me up, placing me on a chair.
Are you okay?
My ankle kinda hurt.
Looks like it's sprained. The floor is really slippery. Be more careful next time.
He sprayed some pain relief on my ankle and bandaged it up. For a second, he seemed genuinely caring. No wonder so many girls fell for him. Liam, do you have a girlfriend?
That's personal.
I shot him a look of pure disgust. He was definitely hiding his multiple girlfriend situation.
Go on home. I already paid for your cab.
As Liam helped me into a taxi, I had to admit, he acted like a total gentleman, even if it was all an act. Since the job wasn't done yet, I went back to the flower shop early the next morning. Liam looked kinda surprised to see me.
You healed up already?
Yep, guess I got lucky with just a small sprain. I actually brought you a little gift to say thanks. I held out the gift smiling.
I don't do pets. Take it back.
I can't take care of it myself, and if you don't want it, I have no clue where to take him. Look, his name's Max. Isn't he cute? Can you take him, please?
No. You should learn to take responsibility for your own choices.
I'd hoped the puppy would be my ticket to getting closer to Liam, but he was so stubborn about not taking him. I was at a total loss, so I just sat there with Max, waiting until Liam finished work.
Fine. I'll take care of him for a few days.
Really? Thank you so much! I hopped into Liam's car with Max and we started driving around town. He kept turning down random streets though, and it was low-key weird. Are you lost or something?
No, but lately, I've noticed someone tailing me. Gotta stay careful.
I immediately thought of that orange-haired guy from before. Lost in thought, I barely noticed when we arrived at Liam's place, which to my surprise was actually near my office. While he set up a spot for Max, I scoped out his place. Contrary to what I'd imagined, his house was spotless and it seemed like he really did live alone. Despite all my surveillance, I hadn't seen him with any girls. Weird. I had to find another way to get more information. Over the next few days, I kept using Max as an excuse to visit Liam's house. I brought some toys for Max!
You can take them home with you, you know?
Aw, that's too bad. I still haven't sorted out a place for him yet. Mind if I stay for dinner? Each time I found some excuse to linger longer. And while Liam was reluctant at first, he eventually got used to it and we got closer. After dinner, I lay with Max on the patio, casually trying to fish for information from Liam. I noticed a lot of girls follow you on Insta. Do you like all the attention?
You must be mistaken. I don't even have Instagram. Besides, I actually respect love and people's feelings. Love isn't a game. It's not about having tons of people chasing after you. Without honesty, every relationship crumbles.
His words left me speechless. I'd never thought about love like that before. But he did have a point. Nope, hold up. He's a two-timer. There's no way I'm falling for his act. Shaking off those thoughts, I said goodbye and headed home. Even though I kept reminding myself not to take Liam's words seriously, I couldn't help but keep tabs on Aria and Camila's boyfriend's Instagram accounts. Both accounts posted daily updates of Liam's activities, almost identical to what I'd observed in person. Total fraud. Then I noticed something strange. The posts were all uploaded during the day, but I'd rarely seen Liam on his phone, let alone taking pictures. That reminded me of the orange-haired creep. I quickly reached out to Aria and Camila, arranging a meeting with them the next day. I was starting to doubt if Liam was actually the one scamming them. That night, even after leaving the office late, my mind kept running in circles about what I'd discovered. I used to think Aria and Camila were just getting played by a dude, but now it was way more complicated. Suddenly, I realized someone was following me. The footsteps behind me got louder, and I remembered Liam's house was nearby, so I took off running, with the person right on my heels. When I spotted his house with the lights still on, I sprinted up to it. Please open up! Someone's following me! I banged on the door, praying he would answer. My pursuer was nearly on me. Ah! Just then, Liam came rushing out of the house.
What's going on?
I grabbed him in a panic. The stalker froze when he saw Liam, then bolted in the other direction. Liam quickly brought me inside.
Are you okay?
I was still freaked out and couldn't even speak. He handed me a warm glass of water and sat beside me, waiting until I calmed down.
Stay here tonight. I have a spare room. I'll take you home tomorrow.
Thinking about the stalker still lurking outside, I agreed. As I lay in bed, my emotions were a total mess. Without Liam, who knows what could have happened to me? Just knowing he was nearby made me feel a lot safer. The next day, Liam drove me to the office. When we ran into Aria and Camila, he didn't react at all, like he didn't even know them. After saying goodbye to Liam, I invited Aria and Camila up to my office. This time, I asked them to call their online boyfriends. I needed to confirm something.
Aria, what's up?
The voice wasn't Liam's, but I wasn't sure yet if Liam was just another victim or somehow involved in all this. Camila suddenly spoke up, eyes wide. That voice sounds exactly like my boyfriend's!
Camila!
Yep, Aria and Camila were both being played by the same guy. Your boyfriends are a scammer. Everything you showed online was fake. No way. No way. I trusted him so much, and he just... I swear I'll never forgive that lying creep. I'm taking him to court for fraud. When I got to Liam's place, I froze. There was a shadowy figure sneaking around, taking pictures of his house. I connected the dots. The guy who dropped that picture of Liam, the dude who had followed me, and Liam's constant feeling of being watched. It all added up. The stalker was the one pretending to be Liam, scamming girls left and right. Liam was actually the victim here. This guy had the audacity to keep creeping around. I quickly called the cops and let Liam know. The police arrived fast. The stalker sensed something was off and tried to bolt, but just then, Liam burst out of the house. He tackled the guy to the ground as the cops ran up and cuffed him. But even as they dragged him away, he glared at me, spitting out his words.
You're a scammer too! Why aren't you in cuffs? Does Liam even know you're playing him?
Those words hit me like a truck.
What does he mean by that?
I took a shaky breath and looked at Liam, deciding to spill everything. At first, I thought you were the scammer, so I tried to get close to you. I'm really sorry.
So you lied to me? I hate liars!
But things changed. I realized I was wrong and I genuinely want to be friends with you.
That doesn't excuse what you did.
I know. I messed up. I'm so sorry, Liam. I tried my best to show how sincere I was. Even though Liam didn't say anything, when I was about to give up hope, he spoke.
I'm not gonna forget this easily, but if you really want to make it right, I'll give you a chance.
Really? Thank you, Liam! I'll prove that I deserve it! I felt a wave of happiness. I was so lucky to have a shot at fixing things. I'd finally understood that love was something precious, not a game to play around with, and definitely not something to deceive people over. I decided to shut down my agency. With Liam's help, I landed a new job, and things between us have been going great. I'm really hoping we'll end up more than just friends. That day, Xena and I were at the Universal Studio Hollywood Water Park Festival. She suddenly dropped her swimming cap into the water. Xena looked confused and didn't know how to get it back. Then she looked at me. Vivian, help me! If I go down there, my foundation will wash off! The cap was nearby, so I easily reached out to get it for Xena. Suddenly, a kid playing nearby splashed water right into my eyes.
Nanny, nanny, boo-boo,
Oh my goodness, that little brat! Here you go. Oh no, there are some red spots in the corner of your eye. It's probably just a bug bite or something. At the time, I didn't think much of it and assumed a mosquito had bitten me. Little did I know, it was a super rare condition. Hi, I'm Vivian. Statistically, only 1 in 230 million people have this condition. It causes a lot of trouble in my life. It makes me insecure about love, but also helps me see people's true color. My mom told me that I was always sick and difficult to raise as a child. This put a lot of pressure on my parents. I remember one day hiding behind the door, witnessing a heated argument between my parents, and there was a woman waiting at the door for my dad.
You and the kid exhaust me. Just leave me alone.
Dad coldly walked out of the house and I cried out, clinging to his leg, begging him not to go. But all I got was a disdainful look from him.
You're a troublesome bad kid.
That sentence haunted my subconscious. Since then, I always knew I had to be a good kid to earn love. A while later, my mom married another man. That was my stepfather, Hudson. He had a daughter named Xena. Stepfather was very kind to me. He always bought me handmade gifts. Although Xena could be a bit childish, I knew they would become my only family. So no matter what Xena wanted, I would always agree. Then we graduated middle school and went to high school together. On the first day of school, Xena became the girl everyone noticed. Walking next to her made me feel really pressured.
Come on, let's go this way.
We were heading to the registration area when suddenly a potted plant fell from above. Xena screamed and jumped out of the way. My feet were frozen, not knowing how to react.
Watch out!
Out of nowhere, a boy about my age rushed over and pushed me out of the way. The pot fell and shattered just inches from my feet. All the boys around rushed over to help Xena. They all fought to pick her up.
Are you okay?
Wow, the boy standing in front of me seemed to glow with an aura. He was the one who saved me from that falling pot, Ethan. He seemed pretty popular. I noticed a lot of girls glaring at me from a distance. Scared, I let go of Ethan's hand and pulled Xena away. But afterward, Ethan still found me and showed me around the school. Ethan genuinely cared about me. Even when I clumsily spilled water on his shoes while trying to thank him, he remained gentle and didn't leave me. Within just 3 weeks, I realized I had feelings for Ethan. But for some reason, every time we had a moment of eye contact,
Have you two been waiting long? Vivian, help me with this math homework.
every day that happened, I prioritized Xena over my own feelings. One day after my class, I planned to secretly leave a gift in Ethan's locker to confess my feelings. Suddenly, my phone rang. Hello? Dad? What did you say? A sudden tragedy struck my family. My mom died in a car accident. In the days that followed, my world collapsed. I stayed in my room crying. Tears kept flowing. Suddenly, I noticed my hands were breaking out in hives. What was happening? I felt my throat tighten. I couldn't breathe. Help! Help! I struggled to crawl down the stairs. If this continued, I'd be done for. I finally reached the door and opened it. Through my blurry vision, I saw Dad and Xena standing with 2 other people. They looked shocked seeing me like that. I only heard them calling my name before I blacked out. I was rushed to the hospital and diagnosed with an incredibly rare condition. Tear allergy. If I cried too much, I'd break out in hives and have trouble breathing. The doctor said I needed to control my emotions and avoid getting water in my eyes. Thankfully, Dad and Xena were there in time, and I made it through the critical moment. While waiting for Dad to complete the discharge paperwork, Xena walked into my hospital room. She gasped when she saw my face.
Oh my gosh, you look terrifying! You have more hives than before!
I was heartbroken hearing that. Would Ethan think I was gross too?
While waiting for Dad, try this chocolate I made. I'm going to confess to Ethan tomorrow.
What did you say? You like Ethan? Seeing her happy face, I knew I was in trouble. I didn't know how to live with this condition, and now my little sister who saved my life liked my crush? What was I supposed to do? That entire night, I thought a lot. I couldn't break Xena's heart after she saved my life. If my dad found out I hurt Xena, he'd be so disappointed. And Ethan, he'd probably leave if he saw my ugly face. So I decided to bury my feelings for Ethan. Adapting to this condition was more important than starting an uncertain love. I started avoiding Ethan at every corner of the school.
Hey, Vivian! Wanna study at the library? Come watch my basketball game? Are you mad at me?
Each time he asked, I ignored him or went the other way. Meanwhile, Xena kept pursuing Ethan. The whole school started gossiping that they were a couple because they looked good together. But Ethan flat out rejected my sister and kept following me, asking why I was avoiding him. Things reached a climax when one day, Xena and I went to school, and everyone gave us strange looks. They whispered weird things like, sisters but rivals? Vivian actually signed up for prom queen? I pushed through the crowd and was shocked. In front of me was a poster of prom queen candidates. Xena and me? Wait, there must be a misunderstanding. Everyone knew I'd never sign up for this.
Seems like I never really knew you.
If not Xena, not me, then it could only be one person. I didn't do this! Why did you do it?
Why are you avoiding me?
Because of you, Xena doesn't want to see me anymore. Leave me alone! As I stormed off, Ethan ran after me and grabbed my hand. His voice was trembling and desperate.
Just join the prom queen contest. I won't bother you anymore.
I didn't want Ethan hanging around me either. It would only make Xena more upset. I wasn't interested in contests like this, but maybe it was the only way to get Ethan to stay away. Xena was mad at me for almost a week. I had to convince her that I wouldn't win anyway. Besides, I could help Ethan get closer to her. So I still showed up at the prom queen campaign events, mainly to support Xena. Once, Xena decided to bake pizza to give out to everyone. I went to help her. Xena was baking in the school canteen. While she was kneading the dough, Xena suddenly remembered,
Vivian, peel and chop these onions for me.
I cheerfully peeled and chopped the onions. Yes, you know what happens next, right? The onions made me cry uncontrollably. My tears started flowing. Hives began appearing from my eyes down to my hands. Everyone around was shocked and started whispering,
She looks like a frog.
Xena, help me! Suddenly, a cloth was draped over my face and a strong arm carried me outside. It was Ethan. I tried to push him away, but he quickly gave me a pill to swallow and gently patted my back. In just 5 minutes, the hives began to fade and I could breathe again.
Looks like we're not only compatible, but also share the same illness.
Ethan had the same rare condition. He saved me and didn't mind my ugly appearance. Why was it so difficult? I finally met a good guy, but...
Vivian, I don't want you to feel insecure about yourself anymore. You're more beautiful and kind than any other girl.
As Ethan spoke, he leaned closer to me, making me blush. Then he took my hand and started doing my makeup. When we stepped outside, Xena and everyone else were waiting. They stared at my face in shock. Unlike the previous whispers, they took pictures of me and praised my looks. Only Xena walked away. Did I hurt her? Because of that event, the school's website was flooded with fan pages for me. There was even a fan page for the OTP, Vivian, and Ethan. The vote count difference grew. Oh no, I dreaded the consequences. And Xena didn't say a word to me. I was in a daze for days. A few days later on prom night, I sat hesitantly in my room. I hung the dress Ethan gave me and stared at it for a long time. You know what? I also wanted to shine and be with the one I loved, but what about Xena? And Dad? Suddenly, Xena barged into my room furious.
So you're still going to prom with him? You liar!
I'm not...
I should have made you chop onions where no one could see. Then you'd be struggling to breathe and couldn't call for help.
Why was Xena saying this?
What's surprising? I never considered you my sister. Dad and I shouldn't have saved you after your mom died.
Before I knew it, I was in tears from disappointment. My condition flared up while Xena silently walked away.
Stay here, ugly frog. Don't try to take the prom queen title and Ethan from me.
I couldn't breathe. No, I've trusted the wrong people my whole life. I couldn't lose the ones who truly cared about me anymore. Be strong, Vivian. I tried to calm myself and stop the tears. I had to get out of there. But Xena locked the door, so I had no choice but to climb out the window. I hurriedly climbed down from the second floor, accidentally falling into Dad's rose bush. Darn it, that hurt. My tears flowed again. Where was my medicine? Ouch! Dad, help me! Dad Hudson unexpectedly kicked the medicine bottle away in my shock.
Isn't this the perfect chance for my daughter and me to take over this house?
So they never cared about me. They only pretended to love us to leech off my mom and me. After Mom died, they wanted to take over the house. The day I first discovered my condition, they left the funeral to invite buyers to the house. Luckily, when I crawled to the door, they had to pretend to be decent people to save me. I'd been deluded by their fake love all along. You and your daughter will pay for this!
Yeah, stay away from her!
Ethan appeared in the yard to rescue me. He quickly grabbed the medicine bottle and gave me the pills. Thankfully, he was there to take me to prom. This time, I wouldn't let evil people make me insecure and miss out on love. Let's go, Ethan. I want to go to prom now. We arrived at prom. When Xena saw me, she tried to spill a soda can into my eyes, but I quickly dodged. Xena lost her balance and fell. I ran up and grabbed the mic, still with some hives on my face. But this time, I wouldn't be weak and cry. Xena is a deceitful, evil person. I'm allergic to tears, and she has tried to harm me multiple times. I also told everyone about how Xena and her dad planned to sell the house right after my mom died. Xena tried to explain that I was lying, but Ethan testified to what he heard in my yard. Needless to say, Xena was condemned in all the school papers. She was so stressed that she didn't dare show up at school. And me? I was ready to face them in court to protect my mother's property. Now I'm in Hawaii, enjoying the prize for prom king and queen. Thanks to Ethan, I've changed a lot. We're learning to live with this strange allergy together. I'm no longer insecure and see this condition as a part of life because, you know, it's taught me so many lessons.
Alice, run! Mom and Dad love you! Alice! I jerked awake to the sound of thunder outside my window. It was pouring rain. I stumbled to my parents' room and realized they still weren't home. Be good, Alice. Listen to your mom.
Mom? Dad?
I instinctively followed the voices calling out from somewhere in the air.
Where are you?
Suddenly, I heard the sound of footsteps getting closer on the stone floor. A cold man approached, his piercing eyes unlike anything I'd ever seen. He bent down next to me and said in a deep voice,
There's no room for the weak, kiddo.
But where are my parents?
They're in a better place now.
What I remember next is him carrying me away as the rain continued to pour down. Hi, I'm Alice, 17 years old, currently living in Germany. Since Mr. Lewis took me in, I've been living in a home for young agents.
I learned math, martial arts, and everything else. Growing up, I was a bit weaker than the other kids my age. I tried my best, but that annoying kid Kenji was always terrible. He always made fun of me. His taunts made me angry.
What a weakling. Look at her. Can't even do one pull-up.
Not true. I am strong. Mr. Lewis's words echoed in my head, pushing me to try harder.
There's no room for the weak.
I believed him because without him, I'd probably be a shy kid in some orphanage. I trained day and night, through hot days and rainy days or snow days. I was going to prove them wrong, and by the time I was 17, I was taller and stronger than all the others. My martial arts skills improved a lot too. This made him even angrier. Mr. Lewis called both me and Kenji.
I have a special mission. This is the most prestigious high school in England, and the principal, Mr. Clawford, is part of our organization. Your mission is to find a student spreading rumors about the principal. All the rumors are false, and the imposter is very professional.
So we'll pose as students and infiltrate the school as secret agents.
Exactly. However, I only need one person for this mission.
I can take on this mission. I'm ready.
I know. Your abilities are on par with Ellis's, but I need to ask about your English skills.
Needless to say, I've been fluent in English since I was young. I don't even know why. So, I got the mission, much to Kenji's extreme anger. Honestly, I was excited to experience the life of a normal high school girl. Although, England made me feel sad. I've never even been there. After a nearly 2-hour tiring flight to England, I immediately went to the school to start my mission. Wow, this school is huge! I got my uniform and became a high school exchange student from Germany, with the principal on my side. Easy game. So the plan is to find that guy, befriend him, and bam! Job done. I walked through the school hallways, observing everyone. The groups of students chatting away. They're so naive to be fooled by fake rumors.
Why didn't you do my homework? I did. I just missed one question.
These jerks daring to bully someone in front of me. But I better not show off too much. My impulsiveness could alert the imposter. Excuse me, where's the CCTV room? Thanks a lot. You're so kind. Excuse me. Man, fancy school but so many problems. Just a few simple clicks and the screens all show nighttime video footage. Just you wait. I'm about to catch you. All the screens suddenly go dark and then light up again. But the walls are now covered with posters. How did this happen?
Remember, he's very professional.
Ugh, so annoying.
Fire! There's a fire in the equipment room!
But when I tried to open the door, it's stuck. Damn it! Move back! Yeah! The fire alarm blares through the halls. As I'm about to blend into the crowd to escape, I see the earlier bullies dragging the same kid towards the fire. Seriously? Just when I thought I could keep a low profile. Hey, stop it! Don't you know it's dangerous, kiddo?
Kiddo? Who are you calling that?
Only kids play stupid games like that, right? Am I wrong? They charge at me, but an agent like me can take them down in a heartbeat. This poor kid must be scared to death. Hey, can you hear me? I'll get you out of here. Oh, Mamma Mia! He's the most beautiful and hot guy I've ever seen! Like, really hot! Don, why is he so limp? Next time, don't let them bully you. There's no room in this world for the weak. And then my head starts to spin and I collapse. When I wake up, I'm in the school's infirmary. Mr. Lewis will be so disappointed if he finds out about this.
Oh, you're awake. How do you feel?
You got me out of there when I fainted, right?
Oh, no, the firefighters did that. Firefighters in England are brave and skilled. Try this. It'll help you relax.
Seeing my hesitation, Malcolm laughs.
Don't worry, it's Earl Grey tea. It's the most famous tea in England. Looks like you'll have to come to tea with my grandma to learn more. I'm Malcolm.
Ellis. I take a sip of tea. The bergamot oil instantly revives me. Wow, I like it. Since that day, Malcolm and I started hanging out more. He showed me around and talked about many things, though all of it felt strangely familiar.
How about it? Want to give it a try? It's one of London's famous landmarks, next to the Big Ben clock tower.
We sat in the cabin and looked at the view below. Suddenly, my hand accidentally touched Malcolm's, and I couldn't hide my blushing face.
Look! 2 suns! That's you!
What? Why?
Because your face is so red.
So embarrassed. Get a grip, Alice. Don't let anyone know your feelings.
Mom, look! The city is so beautiful!
Ellis? Ellis!
Huh? Mr. Lewis said I'm German and I've never been to England. Why do I have these memories? Strange. On the way home, I got a call from Mr. Lewis.
I didn't send you to England to have fun. You have 3 days to catch him and bring him back to Germany. If not, Kenji is ready to replace you.
I realized I'd indulged my emotions and forgotten my mission. Disappointed in myself, Alice! The next day, the school was abuzz with new rumors. The principal was supposedly recruiting wealthy parents for a secret society with dark purposes. Whoever's spreading the rumors didn't specify the society's purpose, but Mr. Lewis said all the rumors are false. I need to find him fast. This dummy forgot his phone again. Huh? He has a girlfriend? Looks familiar. Malcolm wrote that post? I'm trembling so much I can barely stand. So, the person I'm looking for is Malcolm. I was completely shocked by what I found. I had special feelings for Malcolm, but he's the enemy. I'm disappointed in myself for being weak in front of him. Wait, didn't I follow the plan exactly? The next day, I suggested Malcolm come to Germany for a visit, and to my surprise, he agreed right away.
If this trip is fun, next time I'll bring my grandma.
It'll definitely be fun. An unforgettable trip for sure. The flight went smoothly, and I didn't let any slip-ups happen until we reached a secluded alley.
Got me.
What? Why?
Isn't that your purpose? To catch and take me back to the organization?
I was so shocked I couldn't speak. Malcolm knew everything? How did he know about the organization? Before I called the organization to pick you up, I want to know when you found out about my identity.
Wow, your hands were so soft in the London Eye cabin. Never thought you'd tie knots this tight.
Enough talk!
Alright. Like you, I was once a member of the organization. Trained from a young age to be Mr. Lewis's cold-hearted pawn. And those words, it's him. He, along with that esteemed principal you're protecting, got mad when my parents refused to join their secret society. One day, they disappeared, and Mr. Lewis took me to the home. Believe me, that organization is darker than anything you can imagine. And I thought he was my savior until I discovered the truth. I mean, who raises kids telling them to always be strong and hide their weaknesses? Bullshit!
What happened to him is just like what happened to me.
They're in a better place now.
I've been seeing my enemy as my savior for 16 years.
I gathered enough information to expose the truth, and knew I'd have to face him someday. So I agreed to go to Germany with you. But maybe I was too confident in thinking I could turn you to my side. Well, fine then. Let's go. Huh?
Just go. I'll face him for you.
What's the rush, lovebirds? Wow, Ellis! Just a few months without seeing you and you've changed so much. Love is the weakest emotion. Disgusting. Another victim of Mr. Lewis?
Yeah, he's a bit stubborn though. As Kenji lunges at me, I dodge his first attack. He's improved a lot since I left. But beating Ellis isn't that easy. Kenji, you need to listen to me! Suddenly, it goes dark around me. I squint but can't see anything.
Ellis, be careful!
Before I could sense the movements in the air, I'm sprawled on the floor, aching all over.
Forgot I'm Japanese, did you? Fighting in the dark is a ninja skill.
Ellis and Malcolm are tied up and escorted back to the organization. I was so proud when I left, and now returning in such a miserable state.
Well done, Kendi. Catching a pike by letting the carp escape. I must say, I'm very disappointed in you, Ellis.
Same here, Mr. Lewis. Pew! Checkmate. After my words, the police storm in from all directions. The principal is also arrested, and their secret society is exposed through the documents Malcolm provided. Mr. Lewis bows his head, accepting all the charges.
I'm leaving too. Goodbye and thanks, Ellis.
We say goodbye to Kenji. Who knows if we'll ever meet again after he returns to Japan. Lucky he listened to me and cooperated. Wasn't too stubborn, right? After so many years, I finally visit my parents' graves under my real identity, a 16-year-old English girl. Everything that happened feels like a nightmare.
You're as beautiful as your mom.
Thank you.
Silly. Just cry. No one needs you to be strong all the time.